Hyderabad like this. Now, these options, you cannot use any required attribute for them because generally the first one is also considered as an option only. That means it thinks that it is also a city. So, but this option, so we give a value that it is no city. So others have value. So this value is Delhi and this value is Hyderabad. Okay. That means the first one is not city. Generally, I just define as no city here, configured it. Okay. Now, we can't give any required attribute for this. There is no required attribute given for this. Then how do we know whether they selected a city or not? So we need to know whether they selected a city or not. So I will keep a class as form group. Okay. So here, when user is selecting the city, when user is selecting the city, if he selected the first one, that means no city is selected. And second, third onwards, it's okay. So that means how do we know whether he selected the first one or not? Right? That is important. You can't give required because the first one also an option only. So we don't define any required here. Just I need a message here. So I will keep a message. So a div here a span and the span as class text danger and the message is please select a city. Please select a city. So that is the message we want to display. So that message should display. Now when user selects a city, that should be hidden. When user selects the first one, it should display. That is the basic thing we need to do. In that case, so we have to write our own validation. How do we write our own validation? So for that, let's go to the TS file. Okay. In this file, first step is we need to keep here, it is short. Okay. We need to keep here first the basic. Yeah. Here we need to declare one property. So the property is display city error. Okay, that is we are having false, true, the message we are displaying. Display city error false. And this Boolean value I am applying here to this span. So ng if display city error. Currently it is false. That means that message will not be displayed. Okay. So, or it should be displayed. In that case, now I will keep it true. If it is true, then it will be displayed. Please select a city. Okay, fine. Now when user selects a city, I need to verify and display the validation. That means when user is selecting the city. So that means here we have to write an event on change. We already learned about change event. That means now here we need to define. So on city changed. I will write a method. on city changed, I need to collect the value they selected. I need to collect the value they selected. So that means on city changed is a method that fires up whenever the city is changed. That means here we write event change on city changed. I need to send the value of this particular element. How to send the value of this particular element? You can send lst cities dot value now. lst cities dot value will send the value of the current element because it is defined with the model. lst cities dot value. That means its value will be sent. We have to collect that value. That value is actually val, okay, a reference. And if val is equal to, if value is equal to no city, that means they haven't selected the city, then I need to just display the message. So that means I need to just display the message. That means this dot display city error is equal to true. Else if anything else is selected, then display city error is equal to false. So the logic is simple. You are selecting the value, you are sending the value. When user is selecting city, we are collecting this value and we are verifying. If the value is no city, that means they haven't selected a city, then display city error. Otherwise, hide it. So that means anything else is selected, then hide it. Then we can refresh this now and you can see here. So these all are working fine. Others are working fine here. So mobile required, name required, okay, John, and mobile required, fine. In the city, I am selecting Delhi, then it's okay. Hyderabad, then it's okay. I selected the first one, then it says please select a city. That means now this is our custom validation. This is our custom validation. So you know the events, you know the events, you know how to manage the events. Then based on that, you have to write your own validations. You have to configure and write your own validations. It's important, right? You have to decide which event will suit for that situation. And based on that, what problem is having with that element and why it cannot use the built-in validations. So now how you can send its value on selection and verify. So everywhere we need that. So that means everything you cannot just manage by using predefined validations. For example, suppose I have added one more option here. So another div. So class as form group and label is enter even number. And here I have a div and a text box. Input type is equal to text. And name as txt even, and ng model and hash txt even is equal to ng model, and class as form control. Okay. And important, now I need to display. Yeah. Here we need to display some message. So I will keep a span and say class as text danger and not an even number. Not an even number. Now important is here city selected, that's fine. Now here, whenever they enter a number here, I need to verify